Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Jason with Jadren Aquatics. Thanks for hanging out with me in the fish room today. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, and I know I keep telling you guys life's crazy. Life is getting a little bit more balanced now. Lately, it's just been more to kind of an aggravation thing. I just don't feel like actually going out. And I learned a long time ago when doing this that sometimes you got to take breaks or you'll go through some serious burnout. So I try to do small breaks now instead of taking off for 2 or 3 months at a time. So today we're gonna go around. I have got a ton of changes planned, and I'm not talking little changes. I'm talking big changes. But before we go around and get to that, I want to let you guys know that we're having a Black Friday sale that lasts from today until Sunday. Yeah, I know you're thinking, Jason, Black Friday is one day. Well, we're celebrating it for 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever it is. So on the website right now, all the guppy pairs are only $19 a pair. And I've even got 3 special pairs that are only $15 a pair. You'll have to go on the website and actually check that out. But so that you know, you guys have probably heard me talk about this before. I've been having tons of problem with the post office constantly being late on packages. I've had so many fish die, it's just incredibly aggravating. So I finally just dropped post office shipping altogether, at least until the winter's over. So right now the only available shipping is next day air, but at least that gives me the ability to still offer you a live arrival guarantee, so that you guys don't have to worry about if anything doesn't make it when it gets to you. So be sure to go and check that out. Again, that sale lasts until Sunday night sometime. All right, so let's kind of go around and let's talk about some of the things that we got planned. So before we move on, there's some new fish I wanted to show you guys that we just got in. These are actually ones that are for sale. These are some German black rams. There's also a few gold rams in there. The German black rams were actually bred by someone local that I got them from. They're not the super dark rams, but they are, some of the ones you see are just like almost black. But these guys look really good, and I also got a breeding pair of these that I have in another tank. Then over here from the exact same breeder, I got a bunch of German blue rams. These guys have a lot of the gold gene in them. You'll see a lot of their faces are starting to get really gold. And they don't quite have as many stripes as like the German blue rams do. So I've got a bunch of these guys. These guys are all, again, bred locally. Those are also on the website. All right, so first of all, the fish room is a disaster area right now. The tanks are a wreck. The floors are a wreck. There's so many projects to do right now. It's absolutely overwhelming. And the fact that I'm about to add a whole bunch of new projects to it, it makes it a little bit overwhelming, but it's something that I realize I've got to do to try to keep the excitement going. For those of you guys that know, this fish room has always been this ever-changing thing. I never have like this set plan. Like when I very first started off, I had discus. Well, that didn't last very long, and then I got into guppies, and then I got out of guppies. And then I got into a bunch of cories, and I don't know, I'm just constantly in and out of everything. And so now the entire fish room is just become like this modge podge of tanks of who knows what's going on in each one. So I decided I want to start changing some things up to start making it more of a breeding fish room where I don't just have half the tanks, I have almost all of the tanks that are breeding. And like you can see in some of these tanks, like this tank, now granted this is not a bad looking tank, but this is literally tanks that I just threw stuff together. I threw some rocks in there, threw some substrate in there, and then just slowly started throwing fish here and there in there. There's no rhyme or reason to what's really in here. I mean, there's a bunch of tetras, then all of a sudden we've got a pisto over there in the corner because at one time I needed a tank to put him up, and so I put him in there. Another tank down here is sort of the same thing. We've got a lot of barbs and other smaller cichlids that are in here. But again, this tank, it doesn't serve any purpose. It's more of a display tank. And I kind of created that at first because my focus was more on the channel of being able to do fish room tours. So I wanted a bunch of, display tanks that you would enjoy looking at. So over here, we've got another one. There's just kind of a Mod Podge of tetras and some cories. In it over here are some red, blue, Colombian blue tetras that I bought. I didn't realize how big they were when I got them, and I kind of realized that it's not even what I wanted. So again, they just kind of get thrown into a tank, not really aquascape, just kind of stuff thrown in there. And so on and so forth. Yeah, that's kind of what every tank has become in here. And then you've got tanks like this, where we've got hair algae completely out of control. Now this tank works really good and for shrimp. I've got a million Neo Caridina shrimp in there that are growing like crazy, but that thing's a mess and it needs stuff done to it. So here's the plan now. Now granted, it's not a full-blown plan now because it's kind of, again, it's Jason, let's make it up as we go along. So you can see here, this is the first progress that we've made. We completely tore this tank down. And so a 40-gallon tank is a great tank to me for a display tank, but it's not really the greatest tank for breeding projects. Yes, there are some fish that would act as a good one, but for a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, it's not really something that I'm really going to find useful. So what I'm currently doing now is I'm going to start taking down a lot of these 40-gallon breeders, and I'm going to replace it with 2 20-gallon highs, and then there's also probably room for a 10 that'll go there. But just for now, we're going to put 20-gallon highs on there. So what I'm probably going to do is I'll probably take some of the 20-gallon highs that I have at work and maybe shift this and move this up here up to the shop and use the 40 gallons at work. I don't really know what the plan is, if I take them up there, why I'm taking them up there. The only real reason is because I don't want to have to buy and re-drill a bunch of tanks, which I know is kind of what's going to end up happening. And a lot of the reason that I want to use the 20-gallon highs is because I'm starting to breed a lot of different rainbow fish. So we'll kind of come over here so you can kind of get an idea. So we've got 20-gallon highs here, and these work really, really good. We got the Kamaka rainbows over there. We've got yellow rainbows there. We've got Goiter River rainbows here. And as you can see, we've got spawning mops in the back of them. So the 20-gallon highs work really, really well. You can put, as they get bigger, I'll have to move some of them out, but you can easily get 15 or 20 when they're at breeding size in these tanks. So these work really, really well in breeding situations. So that's kind of the main size tank that I'm currently looking for. And I've started kind of some other breeding projects here also. Over here we've got the Inler tanks, and so you can see we've got some tiger Inlers there, and over here we have some shocking pink Inlers, and then over here we've got some I think those are Starburst, and over here we've got some black bar. And then over here was some new one that I don't even know what it's called that I got. And over here, these are like, I don't know, Japanese blues or something like that. And so that's what I'm starting to do with some of those 10 gallons, is starting to breed a bunch of different Inlers. And again, the main focus that we're having right now is trying to get as much stuff breeding as I can, because that's what I find the most fun. And again, starting to tear down some of these 40s, because right now I've probably got about 15 40s in here, and they all basically, just kind of look the same. There's another one in here that just has a ton of barbs that are in it, and you can see the crypts in there are just growing completely out of control. So there you go. There is kind of the plan of what we're doing right now. Again, we're going to change a lot of different things in here as we go, but the main focus is, again, is on breeding. So if you guys got any questions or comments, or you got some ideas of, you know, what size tanks that you think I should maybe look into putting in here, please be sure and leave those down below. Would love to hear your guys' thoughts and comments, because when I start getting rid of a lot of these 40-gallon tanks, it's going to free up a ton of space. All right, so there you guys go. So thanks again, guys, and God bless.